Gente, what's going on? What's going on? You would not believe that I was nodding out like 15, 20 minutes ago. But I'm here to work, damn it, okay? The show must go on. Sleep is for the dead. None of us are dead. Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm YouTube's devil's advocate and your favorite devil's advocate, hopefully. Do you not see how disrespectful my thumbnails are? Hold on now. Let me get another round of applause for my thumbnails. How disrespectful am I? Come on, I'm good. You gotta admit I'm good. I'm good. I'm a woman of many talents. So welcome. I'm glad to see you here. Let's take care of a little business. I'm On the Block with Jen on all social media platforms, okay? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. More importantly, here's where you can pay your bill to look at me. On the Block with Jen Cash App, okay? That is where we can be discreet. A lot of people don't like other people seeing where their money is going. A lot of you are simping for me and don't want the world to know. That is where you go simp for me. Cash App On the Block with Jen, between you and I. Now, if you want to let people know you're sponsoring me, send me a note and I will shout you out. If you don't give a good goddamn who sees where your money goes, throw it in a super chat right there, bottom right, $, just like Dwayne Rhodes did early. Thank you, Dwayne Rhodes. I appreciate you, sir. We're going to have a little fun tonight. This country is like the gift that keeps on giving, or like the uncle that molested you and then sent you to school, like Chris Rock said that one time, right? This country is very, very interesting, right? We're all glad we're here. Sort of, depends on what day of the week it is or what our taxes are looking like. happy to be here for the most part. But sometimes the citizens of this country just make me wonder how low our IQ is collectively. Okay, we're going to talk about it tonight. All right. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Thank you for being here. Hold tight, chat. Hold me down. Let me bring up my people because I'm hella late. So let me not delay any further. Let's give you a show tonight, guys. Hello, beautiful.
Hello.
How are you? I'm a
What's
little
good?
hype, just a little bit.
Ciao. Many things. We have many things
Many
to talk
things.
about.
Many things.
We
Yes.
got some fun things coming up. So yes,
Yes, we
many
do.
things.
Yes, we
Many
do.
things.
Let me grab No Saint because he be back there knocking on the door. He be back there like, I'm here. Can y'all let me in? Hi, No Saint.
Hello, young ladies on the panel.
We need you on the block anyway to bring the property value up.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Salute to our favorite gentrifier, No Saint. Let's see if George wiggles in a little later as well. Hi, guys. Good to see you. We had such a dope show last night. This is the best show on YouTube, man. Hands down. No cap. We just not about the bullshit. So we don't have 1 million subs thus far, but this is the best freaking show ever. I enjoy this job, and it is a job at the end of the day. Cash App on the block with Jen to support. This is a job, okay? But I enjoy it. It's something that I enjoy doing. It's something that comes natural to me. I like kicking it and learning it from people and teaching people and things like that. I like twisting it a little bit. I do want to start by saying April 15th, Block Talent Battle on the block. Pull up to the block, okay? The link will be in the chat. April 15th, 8 p.m. sharp, Block Talent Battle. If it's not you, tell a friend to tell a friend, okay? We want actors, singers, dancers, comics. I'm getting a lot of responses from comics. So I don't know, this is looking like a comedy show. I'm getting a lot of responses from comics. I got some responses from some singers. I got a response today from a dancer. And I got a response from a guy. I'm getting the weird responses too. I got a response today from a guy who wears a big paper mache head.
I want to see it.
Is he a drag queen?
Oh, he's welcome. No, he's like, he wears a big paper mache head and he's like, he hypes parties.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm here for it. Tell him to come on.
Right. Now, I don't know how that's going to translate to a talent, but he's more than welcome, him and anyone else. I don't care if you play the spoons, if you play the jug, like whatever it is you do, you are welcome April 15th for the cash prize. Let me tell you, it doesn't mean that the most talented person is going to win. Maybe the most quirky person to get the most votes.
Right.
It's not up to us.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
It's not up to us. So I'm getting some very interesting responses. I want you to know you are all welcome here. Now, we will be judging, but it's not up to us. If you get the most votes or you get the most people to watch you and click your name in the comment section, then you get the money. 2 minutes for $100, Lily and No Saint. 2 minutes of your evening. And you get $100 for 2 minutes of your evening.
Only one that makes faster money is a hooker.
Hello.
Exactly.
And you don't got to take your clothes off. You don't even have to leave your house. You don't have to leave your house. Just give us some good light and some good sound, and you can win that $100 on April 15th. But I'm getting a lot of interesting responses. So we'll see how it all unfolds on April 15th. I'm very curious myself. I'm excited about it. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Get on up here April 15th. We are very, very, very happy, okay, that you're coming April 15th, 8 p.m. sharp. Okay. So how you feeling, you guys? Yesterday was so freaking good.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was.
It feels like the show is getting better every day.
Don't you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like it's getting better with time. It's aging like fine wine. Like
It
it's just,
is. Yeah.
I look around, I peek around every now and then, and I'm not seeing anybody kicking it the way we
No,
kicking it.
this is the best. This is the best. We are genuine people up here. You know, I think what gives us that je ne sais quoi, that we genuinely just let people say what the fuck they gotta say, what they're thinking. This is not an echo chamber. None of us are afraid to disagree. No one's kissing ass here. We're just like, this is what it is, right? And we are a true representation of this country. This is we all
Yes
come
and
from
no.
different worlds. Okay, give me
Yes,
the no. Give
the
me the
no
no.
is we all come from different worlds, but on this
Mm-hmm.
station and on this channel, we allow people to be themselves.
Hmm.
It's, instead of like, no, I'm right, you're wrong, I believe this, you're wrong because you don't believe what I believe, you don't think the way I think. Like, no, it's not
Okay, well
that.
that's a great prefix for the topic tonight. Actually, George Cook, how are you, darling?
Hey, I'm well.
And I'm ready to get into this topic tonight because I got some things to say.
I am definitely glad George is in here. We definitely need a different perspective.
Okay.
I don't know what his perspective is yet, but I have a feeling.
Oh, you got a feeling, no saint. You got a feeling, and it's okay. Okay. It's
Speak to the
you
devil
never.
and he shall appear.
Every time, George.
Right.
Every time. Okay.
Right.
Shout out to the devil. The devil gets a bad rap, but shout out to the devil, man. The man has been giving people pleasure since the beginning of time. He gets a bad rap every night. Come on. All right. He certainly has not killed more people than God has in the Bible. Whoop, but we're not going there tonight. All right.
Not tonight.
We're not going to mass murders tonight, right? Tonight's not the night. Thank you for the super chat, Israel Grace. Great to
We're going to
see
need
you
a
here.
religious organ.
Okay.
We have to get an organ.
Oh my God. Speaking of, really, really quickly, isn't Catholic music the most scary shit ever? That fucking organ in the church? That shit is
very
fucking
haunting.
creepy.
It's very haunting. It's very
Very,
haunting.
very. I mean, it's cool for certain things, but it's just like it doesn't give me holy when I listen to it. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah.
It's interesting music though. It's very interesting. No, sir.
I'm like, who are we summoning again?
Right. I'm like, I'm feeling uncomfortable. I'm gonna go. Give me the cookie, that thing that y'all eat, whatever.
Right.
The flat Tic Tac. Give me the flat Tic Tac and the wine.
Can I get
What does it taste like? What does it taste like?
It doesn't taste like nothing. I was so disappointed. I was with my girlfriend in California. I'd never, and I'd always wanted to go up there, and so I did it. I told her, I was like, God, man, I said, I want some of those chips. I'm hungry. So she started laughing. So we went up there. I put it on my tongue.
Nothing.
Wait, but you're talking about the one that they put on your tongue and then drink the little thingy?
Yeah, I didn't get anything to drink, but yeah, the little wafer.
Oh, okay.
Now, I used to like Jesus's blood. I will take his blood.
Okay, was it good wine?
It was just wine. I was just trying to get drunk, so I come back with seconds because I'm like, the last one didn't take. I'm still fucking. Can I get another one?
The Catholic Church and I have an interesting relationship because my girlfriend here in Louisiana, before I went to the military, we got a lot of Catholics here, and I went to midnight mass, blasted. I mean, I was so drunk. Midnight mass, doing all that kneeling. I had no idea. I'm not Catholic.
You know what? We're gonna need a second bell.
Religion.
For religion. Yep.
Yeah, yep. We need a horn or something.
I'll get that bell. Don't worry. I'll get that bell.
Yeah, I like the race bell, but we need like something for religion, like a horn or like the Catholic music or something like, oh no.
Yeah, every time we mention the manosphere, we got to have a sound for that.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
I mean, before this night's over, we'll tie this thing into the manosphere somehow.
Oh, absolutely. Look, let me tell you something, honey. I'm telling you, you guys are going to want to be here April 15th for the Block Talent Battle. As I sit here, I'm still getting people submitting. This is a singer, okay? I am getting people answering the ad. This is a singer. You may get to see her, okay? Doing her talent April 15th. Pull up, pull up, pull up. This is going to be amazing. Speaking of the manosphere, we don't have the bell for it yet, but
Here you go. Here's one.
that's for religion.
Like the religion bell. That's the religion bell.
Yes, that's religion.
But it's a religion, so we're going to use that for right now.
So something warmed my little heart today, my little heart of coal, right? This is the same one the Grinch from Who Stole Christmas has in his chest. Remember that little heart that he had when he did his x-ray? Okay, something warmed my heart today. I read something today. And it said FBI documents associate internet slang like based and red pill with extremism now. Red flag them motherfuckers, I told you. Didn't I tell you? Red flag them. So it's a great article. It's a great article, and it's basically talking about how now the FBI has an eye on all these, you know what I mean, vitriolic, insane, violent speaking incels online. They're even tying it to mass shooters. Now, of course, they did say, doesn't mean if you're an incel and you're sexless, you're going to go shoot up a club. But they are tying it to, because they said, I think it was 4 or 5 mass shooters were under the category of incel, manosphere, red pill, all that shit. So the FBI got their eye on you losers. And I always tell the ladies, red flag them. Don't let them threaten you. Don't let them dox you. Red flag them. The FBI is waiting on that information. There's a whole division dedicated to it. Don't waste the fucking FBI shift. They don't got nothing to do. We call them up and be like, I got somebody that needs to be red flagged, okay? That's how you do it. So I thought that was very interesting, and we can dissect that at a later show. But I think this is something that's definitely simmering, right? If they're already labeling it extremism, I think YouTube is going to start being held accountable for letting these people, run amok on social media and threaten women and dox women and do all kinds of things, because these men are attacking women. Let's be clear. It is anti-woman in a lot of those spaces. So, YouTube is going to have to be held accountable for not, getting rid of these channels.
Right.
Okay.
But a lot of psychologists I've just happened to pass through and seen psychologists making that connection, therapists making that connection between the incels and violence against women and just violent period. It's like there seems to be a real connection, and we did cover that last year. We did a show.
We did.
Maybe 2 on that particular topic. So we were on to something, because now I'm just starting to see it pop up more and more. So
yes, ma'am. I just realized I look like the hood Princess Leia right now.
Yeah, you are giving Princess Leia. I can see it better on the TV.
I'm giving Bronx Princess Leia right now. Gentlemen, what say you about this new tidbit? This is an article that just dropped. FBI is associating red pill and terms like based with extremism.
Troubling. Very troubling. Yeah, because where this ends up is it becomes the people you just don't like, and they wind up taking them off the YouTube and stuff like that. And the thing we got to remember is you may not like some of these extreme elements in the red pill and all that, but see, today it's them, tomorrow it'll be your ass. And believe me, they will find a way. It depends on who's in power. That's why even if they're anti-Semitic, they're denying the Holocaust and all that shit. I say let them stay on the channel. Cause I grew up in an environment where in the church where they were censoring everything, and people warned them at the time. The very thing that I'm saying. Today you're picking on whatever group, but tomorrow it's going to be you. And sure enough, that has come back to be true. I mean, they've actually in England, I think they arrested a pastor for he was out street preaching in London or wherever over there, and he said that homosexuality was a sin, and they arrested his ass for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, no matter you disagree, agree, whatever, to me, I was like, you know, because they interpreted that as like it was like violence toward gays,
Mm-hmm.
that he's saying that, you know, they're committing a sin or whatever against God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this was like years ago, several years ago. But where this stuff ends up is like it's like, okay, they get the red pill people, and I'm going to also say, if they figure out that the red pill people tend to vote Republican or conservative, or they're this, and depend on whose administration, like in the current administration, is in office, well, they just might target them.
Okay, No Saint, what say you, No Saint?
Well, I mean, where I'll agree with George is I don't think you drive them underground. I think you let them talk and you monitor them. That's where I think I think that's what I think this is great for the FBI. YouTube is great for the FBI because instead of them.
Is that No Saint? Yeah.
No Saint froze.
Yeah.
He frosted.
But I saying where he was going, that's where I was going to say.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm back. I don't know what's going on right now. So basically, I'm saying it spreads a lot faster, the different ideologies. So that's the negative part. The positive part is they're doing it where everybody can see it. Mm-hmm. And so you can get monitored. I don't have this. I know a lot of people on the right think that the FBI and all these people are targeting conservatives. It's not that they're targeting conservatives. It's that there's a lot of left-wing crazies too, but there's a lot more right-wing crazies right now. It's a lot more weird ideas, a lot more stuff that's really dangerous. The left, Antifa, you know, if you want to say Antifa or whatever, I mean, the people way on the left, I don't agree with them either. But yeah, I think it's a good thing. I don't think you should. And as far as what you're talking about, I've heard red pill mentioned, and it usually has to do with it's some kind of conspiracy against conservatives or some kind of Mm-hmm. So, you know. But anyway, that's what I think. I think that. Would
you say so? What are we saying here exactly? Are we saying that the majority of the population of red pill are conservatives? Is that what we're saying?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean, I'm going to say this. I don't know.
Is it a large majority? Does it lean towards? Is it like mostly white men in America who want things to go back to 1950?
Well, yeah,
or is it mostly that?
I think it's people that think they figured. It's like religion almost. When people think that they have the real truth, people with the red pill think they have the real truth. Like this is what's really going on, right?
Right.
And I don't think anybody knows what's really going on.
Right.
You only know what you know.
Yeah, no, exactly. Nobody knows what the fuck is really going on.
But the thing is, all they have to do is think they know what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's why I say the thing I understand what George is saying as far as like you start attacking one group of people and it wasn't me, you let them get away. It's the whole thing in Nazi Germany and then they came after me type thing, which is which is true. But at the same time, there's jobs to be done. And if these people are going and killing people, you need to monitor them. If they're unstable, you need to monitor them, whether they're left, right, in the center. You need to be keeping tabs on them. That's kind of what government is for, is to make sure that the general population is safe from people that want to do you harm.
Yeah, I agree with George on that part too. I am really, 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 really against censorship because it's a very slippery slope. I've seen it firsthand. Like even during the pandemic, most of my favorite channels were getting just taken down left and right, left and right, left and right. And it was just like, and even right now, any little thing you say, we have to censor everything we say because if not, we're going to get shadow banned. It's, censorship is not a good thing at all. I'm not going to say not at all. There are exceptions. And my exception is violence or inciting violence. That is my exception. But people are allowed to be racist. They're allowed to be homophobic. They're allowed to be ignorant, and all of those things. At the same time, I feel like No Saint said, it's a good thing that they are running their mouth, because now they're bringing attention to themselves, where we wouldn't have never known that this guy that we're at Walmart with is a crazy, but the FBI's on his trail because he won't stop running his mouth. So that's another reason why I like it. Let them tell on themselves.
Right.
Okay, so I disagree with the whole panel. Okay. I disagree, and here's why I disagree. I think we're talking about two separate things, right? I think the quote unquote censorship that like Facebook does and Instagram, I think it's bullshit. They are not censoring people because there's someone said nigger, someone said anti this or black or gay, whatever. The powers that be on social media, in my opinion, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, they're very strategic with who they let fly and who they don't. And I don't think it comes from a place of, I want to protect the gays. I want to protect the Mexicans. I want to protect the Asians. It really is strategized. And that's why you see some people slide. That's why, how many times have we complained, wait a minute, all I was repeating was, don't call me a nigger, and you blocked me. And this white person has been calling me a nigger for the past hour.
Yeah, they do it all the time.
They do it all the time. So I do not think these people are here to make money and not money, billions and trillions of dollars on everybody being hooked on here. So they're not going to get rid of everybody. They won't make any money, especially the people that are the most vitriolic and incendiary. That's why to this day, right, we worry about, let's not say this, let's not say that. The worst characters on social media still have 1 million subscribers. How is that possible? If they're protecting us, if they're shadow banning us and they're just protecting us, and that's why we shouldn't censor people. How is it that all the little people are getting censored, right? And the people who have millions of followings who create the most vitriol, okay, the most hate, who spew the most hate, they're still happy and lucky and camming up every single day and spreading the hate. That's why I call bullshit on, like, no, if they censor you today, if they censor them today, it'll be you tomorrow. Here's the thing. It's like a fucking roulette. It's a gamble. They censor you if they feel like it. You don't even have to say much. How many times have we heard friends say, oh my God, I just did a joke. Matter of fact, I got banned from Instagram one time because I did a joke to my friend about Timberland boots. He was like, yeah, you're gonna, he was like, he made a joke in reference to me being from the Bronx. And I was like, you lucky you're funny, because I would have stomped you with my Timberland boot. I got completely cleaned off Instagram. Completely cleaned off Instagram. Now, there's still people on Instagram who are calling people derogatory terms, whether it's racial or sexual orientation or whatever. I just said, you're lucky you're funny, because I would have stomped you with my Timberland. To my friend who I interact with all the time, who is a comedian, right? So we're just going back and forth. And that's why I don't believe in the, well, be careful, because if they censor them, they'll censor you tomorrow. No, they pick and choose. And honestly, we're at their mercy, whether we like it or not. We're not paying to be here, except Instagram did get all the dummies to pay monthly now. Now there are people paying for those blue checks monthly. Wasn't a one-time fee. Now they got people paying $14.99 a month for a free app. Okay? So they're here to make money. Now, here's what I'll say. Like, red flag them, FBI, go in there, scorch the earth, right? Because the alternative, in my opinion, is 10 times worse. The mass shootings in this country aren't decreasing. They're not decreasing. These people are becoming more and more radicalized, more and more incensed, okay? They're being more and more validated. I mean, January 6th, I don't care what anybody says, would not have happened had Trump not blew smoke up their asses. He was constantly pumping in their head. That is the quintessential radicalization of a demographic. He was constantly they're taking the country from you. You're not going to let them do that. And people that already feel like they're the have-nots are going to move how you say move if you empower them. I don't think January 6th would have happened without Twitter. I don't think it would have happened.
It wouldn't have happened without propaganda from the outside, with the QAnon, all that, which is fed by the internet. I mean, and in the past, those things wouldn't have grown as fast. And that's but we live in that age now. So, that's the thing. We live in an age where you can get your message out there. And that's what's rough, is there's always going to be that element that takes advantage of that. The whole QAnon thing, I think it started as kind of a joke, and people went with it, and then it became more serious. And the problem with Trump, and this is where I place the blame, he riled them up for January 6th, but he also would mention stuff that was coming to him from QAnon. Like, he knew what the narrative was in QAnon, and he would reinforce that. And that's why he brought.
Right. And remember when people used to, no Saint froze again. The FBI is getting us.
Right. Oprah.
No Saint, come back. No Saint, go to the light, baby. Go towards the light.
Damn it.
There you go. You back, no Saint. Also, what I wanted to say about, God, I fucking lost my thought, and it was a good one. Shit.
And y'all see why I said we're not ready for AI yet?
I got COVID brain. I got COVID brain. That's what I got. No, basically, I was saying with the January 6th situation, and the radicalization of people, I think that's more dangerous than, hey, the little YouTubers are gonna get shut down. I think it's way more serious. People are getting fucking shot in daycare, man. You know what I mean? It's like, so I'm all for the FBI being up everybody's asses. I do not trust social media to protect anyone because they're trying to make the money.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't trust them at all. They don't police these sites well. It's horrible. They're absolutely horrible.
Well, not only do they not police, and it's not sporadic how we get blocked and banned. Everything is intentional. Nothing. There's not one thing that hits our phone that's not intentionally sent there for us. Right, based on our algorithms and the things we search and right? The conversations we have in the living room and all that, right? So even getting blocked is not. And so, to your point, Jen, not only are they not banning these people, but they push them through the algorithms. The more vitriolic, the more hate.
That's okay. That right there is the problem. That's why the FBI has to scorch earth, because we've seen it here. A huge argument happens. My numbers go up like a slot machine. It is literally the reward for chaos.
Exactly. That's the big problem. That's the real problem, is the reward. See, you all remember the short period of time when this was all new and it was organic, meaning you post something, your followers saw it. That's simple.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. It's so strategic. And I remember when I started noticing that, I was like, wow, hold up. Like, only a small percentage of my followers are seeing my post. And depending on what I post, even smaller percentage of people. And that's when someone started to teach me about every little piece of everything that's in your video is going to contribute to whether they push it through the algorithms or hold it back. From the colors you wear to the color of your skin to everything, the vernacular in your voice, everything. If you get black voice, all of that. I mean, it's so
the light skins do better on YouTube.
Yes, the paper bag test definitely works on YouTube. There's a girl who actually did a test. She's an African girl, and she washed her face out and watched her numbers just shoot up through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Another thing I wanted to say was, like, with someone like Trump, when people say, oh, just let people talk, that shit doesn't mean anything. Remember when Trump first hit the scene, everybody was on the key. He was the rapper's favorite. Everybody loved it. He's so funny. He just say what's on his mind. That man is so entertaining. I'd love for him to be my president. That is what we need. And then January 6th happened and people died. Okay, that's how it starts. It's so entertaining at first. Even with Kevin Samuels, even with Andrew Tate. Had Andrew Tate not been and I say the same thing about Kevin Samuels, fuck your feelings. Had Kevin Samuels not died when he died, although he was grifting because he was trying to be a celebrity. So I don't think so much for Kevin. But had Andrew Tate had not had his brakes pumped when he did, he already radicalized these dudes. They were shaving their heads in solidarity with this cornball. Okay, so it's like It's cute in the beginning. Andrew Tate was entertaining. I find these guys very entertaining. They're funny to me. They don't offend me because I'm like, you're not talking to me, sir. You're definitely not talking to me or about me. So I don't care. So I can see the entertainment in it, right? But that's how it starts.
And everyone's not you and I.
Right. That's how it starts. Oh my God, he's so funny. He's a comedian, Gretchen. Look at our president. It starts that way. And then January 6th happened. And people died, and that's why don't let it.
And what's really disturbing is he's still doing it.
Yes. Oh my God! Didn't he send out a message? World War. What did he say?
People are going to die if I get indicted.
Yes.
He's still doing it. And I said this. I said the only thing that stopped. There was a few, but the only thing that stopped President Trump from being successful, there was a few things that stopped him from he came close to stealing. When I say steal, basically riling people up, and the only thing that stopped him from, I hate making the comparison. He's not Hitler, okay? I'm not going to say he's Hitler, but if we had a Great Depression, if it was a poorer time in history, he might have been successful in being able to say, hey, it's an emergency, I'm gonna stay in power type. I mean, it was crazy the things he were pulling, and the people that were. What was more scary was there were people, and still people, because of power, they want to stay in power, that are propping him up. Like, instead of saying, hey, this is too far, you can't do this, I don't care if it costs me. No, they were like, well,
No Saint on that Puerto Rican Wi-Fi right now. What is going on, No Saint?
He tapped into Baton Rouge instead.
What's wrong with
them crawfish are killing you.
They're killing you over here.
What I would like to see, actually, which is not going to happen, right? Because one hand washes the face. But I would have loved to see the FBI investigating the actual social networks. That is where the issue is. Not the individuals, because the social networks are giving these people the power that they otherwise wouldn't have had. And what I would do is, not going to happen either, but I would cap everybody's following. Everybody. Like, nobody couldn't go past, let's say, 10,000 followers. No, every human being doesn't need 1 million followers.
Like Facebook used to do, but they changed it.
Yes, they changed. You don't need 50,000. You don't need to be, you, sir, you, ma'am, do not need to be speaking to 50,000 people.
Yeah.
It's just unsafe in general. Mm-hmm. Everyone should not have access to 50,000 people. Some of these fucking red pill animals have 200,000 subscribers. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's no reason why a man who's constantly spewing hate for women should have 200,000 followers and counting.
I agree.
They shouldn't. They should be capped at a certain following. And I remember Facebook used to do that at 5,000. And then it was like, oh, you can have as many as you want following you. Right?
I used to like that. I used to like it when it was like that. I really did.
Yeah.
Because what I would do, it would make me go in and get rid of the dead weight and allow for new people. And I did a lot of business on Facebook during those years. Very good business. Made a lot of good money during those organic years with the 5,000 followers. You don't, like you said, you don't need 1 million followers to be a
if you're not a politician, why does everybody need 100, 200,000, 300,000, 500,000? For what?
You don't need it.
For what? Why do you need 500,000 fucking followers?
Listen, during those years, that's when I left my 9 to 5. I started being a full-term entrepreneur, and I was able to pay all of my bills based off of social media on less than 10,000 followers per social thing. So you don't have to have all that.
Can we cap then MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, and all them to 10,000 people watching the channel?
With their lying asses, you can go ahead and take all that shit off air.
Why do they need 500,000 people?
Take them off air. All of them lies. Take them all off air.
I wouldn't say that for news, because news has always had millions and millions of followers, whether they were garbage or not. I just think the average person the average person who just like wakes up in the morning and is angry at his mama and his ex-wife left him and now he wants to scorch the earth and radicalize 50,000 men to hate women with him. I'm talking about those kind of clowns. I'm not talking about fake news, because I think that's different. There's so many ways to get the news.
Yeah, well, that's got, unless they change things, that's got like First Amendment problems written all over it. That'll never happen.
Well, no, it happened. That's how Facebook was set up.
Well, I mean,
years.
Facebook, if it's a government mandated, I guess I should have clarified. It's like a government mandated thing.
Oh, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I wouldn't want, for that First Amendment thing. Yeah, but I wouldn't mind the social media platforms going back to saying, hey, I really wouldn't mind. I don't need all those eyes on me. I really don't. I really don't.
Yeah. It's the World Wide West.
Yes, it is.
It's the wild, wild west here. Haran says, I don't think everyone should be given the opportunity to vote.
Well, you know what? Honestly, they don't either. So that's why they have the Electoral College, because that was what that was put in here for, because they didn't feel like that we were smart enough to vote. So they're like, those don't count. Let's elect somebody else to do it.
And then like if you have a record too, right? If you're like an ex-con, you can't vote. And if you're not.
Yeah, but even if you don't, you place a vote, it's going to be the Electoral College that's going to do it. And usually their hands are greased up with a lot of greenbacks. So they, child, just go down there and vote if it feels good to you. If it makes you feel good, because your granny and your daddy and your poppy fought and died for it, if that makes you feel good, go on down there and do what you got to do. That's how I look at it.
I've never voted. I never will.
Yeah, no, I don't get into that
anymore. And that makes people cringe every time I say that to somebody's like, it's worse than being atheist. Okay, no, it's worse. You don't
vote. About that, Jen, is if you don't vote, you can't bitch.
Right, and that's usually the retort. But here's the thing: I don't bitch.
Right.
I don't bitch.
I will say, George Carlin put it best. I don't vote, and I have every right to bitch because you're putting people in office. He said, because all you motherfuckers are putting these people in office. He says, I have every right to bitch about it.
Right. Yeah, like I regardless, because I don't like none of them hoes. So regardless, I don't like none of them.
I don't bitch because I understand the system. I understand the 1%. I understand a disproportionately white government. I understand the racism behind it. I understand it. So it's like, I'm not one of those people. To me, it's a form of insanity, right? Yes. You constantly are going in there trying to change something, expecting different results every single time. And growing up, my entire life, no matter who was in that office, even when it's the person that the person voted for, the fucking complaining and whining and nagging every 4 years, the whining and our mayor, our governor, our president, our vice president, a constant. It's almost like humans enjoy the misery, right, of things not working out so they can have something and I bitch and moan and complain about. And me, I'm just like, I go on about my business, I drink my smoothies, and I'm like, y'all mad at y'all president again?
Right. I don't pay, and Jen, I'm take it one step further. Not just the whining and complaining extreme, but the other extreme of the caping and for what, no matter what they do, those two extremes, both of them equally drive me nuts. Like, I don't fucking care because this has nothing to really do with me. They're not thinking about me. Trust me.
Right. That's another thing. That's why I don't bitch. You will never hear me say, I don't like assholes, period. No matter what. I don't care if it's the asshole that a principal at a school. I don't care if it's the president. Like assholes, I'm going to call out an asshole, but it's never because you were supposed to make my life better in this country. I voted you in, I did. It's never, ever coming from that place. I think Trump is an asshole. But if when Trump was doing his reality show, I thought he was an asshole then. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to become president for me to feel like he's an asshole. Some people are just fucking assholes and some people are really cool. So you'll never, oh my God, I wish they'd fix these potholes. Who the fuck is our governor? Like, this is life, man. This is fucking life. The fucking eggs are $7. Who did we vote for? Who's in charge of the eggs? Is it the fucking mayor? Why? This is how it is. This is how it is. And I'm not a whining and complaining bitch. Now, here's how I do look at politics. Okay, I think make lots of money so you can buy one of them bitches.
That's what I was.
That's how I think.
That's where I was going to go with it, Jen.
That's what you're working on, right, Jen?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Little dogs in your purse, right?
I want to make phone calls. I don't want to vote, George. I want to make phone calls.
Well, that's what Bill Gates and Warren Buffett.
That's what they all do.
All these other people do.
That's what they all do.
That's power. Buy you a politician.
They have the power. I've told you, I've seen it before. I've seen it with my own eyes and ears. I've seen people pick up the phone, call a politician that they got in their back pocket because they owe them a few favors. And I've seen it. They was like, okay, I got 2 more left, right? I got to hold on to this. And I've seen somebody in a position. When I say in a position,
I'll vote for that. I'm talking about,
when I say a position that any of us would be like, oh, fuck, right? That motherfucker went just like this.
Right.
Right? And next thing you know, everything was, and I was like, oh, okay. See, I already knew that's how it worked, but to see it with my own eyes.
And let me tell you something. It's some sexy shit. I've done it on a very, very small scale in comparison to millionaires and celebrity. I've done it and it feels fucking good to put in a phone call and stop some shit or make some shit happen. And you do it stealth. You do it quietly. You watch people. And you're like, oh, you think that's going to happen? You don't know who I know. You put that little phone call in. That's how I like moving. That's how I like. Yes. I'm not going in the booth. I'm not going to nobody's booth. I'm not doing it.
And Haran said it's called lobbying. That's what it's called. I actually have a friend who's a lobbyist for a big farm company, and one of the ones that was for the you know what? And she said you think I'm taking that? She was like, oh, no, I just sell it to them. I just make sure that they give it to y'all, but I ain't taking that shit. That's like, right. She said, man, my family not taking that shit.
Right.
Works for like she's the one that gets these people who get the stuff passed don't even take this stuff. Like, it's crazy.
Okay, no saints coming back yet. Damn, Dwayne Rhodes said to have a vote, each citizen should have to do 2 years in the military, like Israel meant. Ooh, Lord.
I don't like that because the first thing they do in the military is brainwash you. So
shit.
So I wouldn't trust that just the military men and women voting, because the moment you come through the door, they start breaking you down and changing and brainwashing.
That's pretty rough.
So they will end up creating who, you know what I'm saying? So they pretty much create voters.
We can't send the grannies and the grandpas to do 2 years in the military.
Right.
No.
Way back when the country first formed, of course, women didn't have the right to vote.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And unless you were a freed Black person, you couldn't vote. But it was, you had to be a male, you had to be 21 years of age, and a landowner. And part of that, I understand why, especially the landowner part, because you've got skin in the game. You've got something to lose. And that's why in some cases, like on the military service, I kind of have, I can see the point on that, because you've got something you've actually put on the uniform.
Kind of, sort of. I'm not mad at some. Own some property, do some. My booski. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levine, giving me red hearts for the red. Thank you for the super chat, Haran DeMarco. Louis Kanye said, hold up, because he's a military man. Haran DeMarco says, firstly, if you can't name the 3 branches of government without assistance and explain their functions, you should not be given the opportunity to vote. So you mean I can't just vote because people are like Puerto Rican and Black? I can't do that. Because if I was a voting woman, I would have voted for that AOC. I would have voted for Obama. But I was just like, yeah, this ain't my bag. Louis Kanye is clapping back. He said, you don't get brainwashed in the military, boo.
That's what people who are brainwashed say, right?
Oh, damn. Shots fired. Thank you for your service, Louis Kanye. We love you. We appreciate you, sir. Comments and suggestions on the panel of On the Block with Jen, not necessarily.
That's like calling a crazy person crazy. I'm not crazy. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Oh my God. Let's segue, my lovely, lovely people. Let's get in there. Let's deal with this. I wasn't going to touch this because I thought it was silly. And then I saw it started picking up steam. And then I saw Kid Rock shooting at cans of Bud Light. So let's get you up to speed, okay? What in tarnation is going on here with the Bud Light? Okay? Don't you touch my Bud Light. So what is happening? Bud Light did an ad with a transgender woman. And can we say the South, Middle America? What are we saying? No saying. Who's upset here?
Well, I think definitely the country music scene is big on it right now, which,
right.
You know, that's a lot of the South. I don't think it's strictly the South. I think you got people in other parts of the country that feel the same way. But yeah, definitely that George, I'm sorry. Definitely people on the right.
Yeah. Well, I kind of picked up on it. The only thing, couple of things I'd say about it is, one, I'm like, I'm kind of like, normally when you market somebody, like somebody said, you market to your audience. And so
correct.
If the core audience is not, you know, trans people and all that stuff, then I'm like, I kind of don't understand it. But then, you know, maybe this was their virtue signaling bullshit that they put a trans person up there. So now they're all for, now they paid their dues. They're now for gay people now. Check a box. But then the only thing about Kid Rock, what he did that was really stupid about that was, you know, I don't know what he thought he was going to get accomplished by doing that. You know what? And in the end, he had to buy that Bud Light in order to shoot him up. So it's like, it was kind of like what one time John Lennon, he was asked when he was in the Beatles about people, you know, happened to be in the South, were burning his albums. They were burning the Beatles albums. And he said, they asked him about that. And he said, well, you know, doesn't really bother me because they had to buy them first in order to burn them. So he took a real, you know, so for me, it's kind of like, you know, I'm like, it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit all the way around. I'm like, you know, I don't, you know, if Bud Light wants to put a trans person up there, that's perfectly their right, you know, to do that. So, I mean, if you
now, are you buying the can? Are you
don't drink the shit? Okay, then just don't. You know?
George, are you buying the can? Are you buying the can with the transgender model on the can?
No, I don't even drink Bud Light.
Okay. Lily.
Surprisingly, I am agreeing with George on this one, but not for the reasons. Well, no, for one reason, but no, it is for that reason. But I'm gonna go deeper because this story goes deeper than this Bud Light.
Okay.
All right. So this is the reason why I'm completely against Dylan in this whole Bud Light situation, right? Dylan is an example of what's wrong right now.
And Dylan who, just so we're clear,
is the quote unquote, and I'm going to put this in because I'm not going to be using transgender for much longer in my spiel, okay? The transgender model, okay?
And her name is Dylan. What's the last name?
I can't even pronounce it.
Dylan.
But Dylan. Okay, so there's a lot here, but I'm just going to break it down real quick. Okay. What I'm seeing from this story actually came up on my radar last week, right?
Okay, so the model's name is Dylan Mulvaney.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It came up on my timeline last week. But it was like, when I started to dig into this character, I was like, see, this is the shit I'm talking about. And one of the things that irked me in being a model, being a transgender model, these people, like, this is the person that gets all of the jobs over other transgenders, because Dylan is not transgender. Okay. So let me go there. Over real, they'll put a cosplayer over a natural born woman, over a real transgender, or over a male. I believe a male belonged in this particular, or at least someone who is into sports, right? Who identifies with sports. Okay, now let me give you a little history lesson on this thing that is cosplaying as a transgender.
Wait, was Dylan Mulvaney born biologically male or female?
I'm about to give you the whole. I'm about to give you the history.
Okay.
So, out of nowhere, Dylan decides to wake up and say, "You know what? I'm going to live my life for 365 days as a woman."
Oh, that's right. I remember now.
Via social media. So started doing all this like just real mockery shit, right? Towards and if you watched a lot of this stuff, it was very mockery towards both trans community and just women in general, both trans and natural born.
So a caricature.
Very much so. Down to like, oh my God, I'm going to carry around tampons. Oh my God. Like just little stupid shit, right? It was like a lot of this real cosplay, real like character, real blackface. It was disgusting. Okay. Now, how Dylan was rewarded was a Tampax $1 million contract that a woman should have gotten. Okay. A bunch of contracts that for transgenders. Dylan doesn't even identify. It's Dylan, for God's sake. That's the name that Dylan was born with as a male and kept, because Dylan is only playing a character of a woman for 365 days. And this is why, and this is the stuff that I've seen bubbling under, and I've actually done interviews about this, because it'll be actual people who are not non-binary and people who are actually transgender, but they'll take a gay white male or a gay male and put them in these positions and give them all these contracts and stuff like that. So that's where it started before Budweiser. There was a lot of other things that I felt like Dylan shouldn't have been doing. Other contracts that I felt like weren't appropriate for Dylan to get, and that includes a Tampax one. Because I don't even think a trans woman should have a Tampax. So that's what my issue lies at. It's just
get your bell ready. No Saint.
Hold on.
It should have been.
Get your bell ready.
Gotta find my bell.
Yeah, Lily. I thought, when I saw him like way before this, but like I thought the very thing you just pointed out, I was like, this dude is like playing to all the stereotypes.
Yes.
The very effeminate gay man. All that kind of stuff. And I was like,
okay, so he is a gay man, is he?
He is a gay man.
Okay.
But he's not transgender, and he's not.
So this is Dylan here.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So that's him dressed regularly. Now, when you Google him,
cosplay as a child.
No.
You see what I'm saying? This is a really sick, dangerous individual that keeps getting rewarded with big contracts that aren't even let's just say you were transgender, like keeps getting rewarded with contracts that they're not even qualified for or appropriate for. So that's why people are having issues with it. It was before Bud Light and Dylan just keeps getting them. That's the issue. These companies keep doing this. And then I'm seeing a lot more people, and what this is doing, I'm gonna tell you what this is also doing. Let me take it another step further, because there's a lot there that pisses me off about people like this. What this is also doing, these are the people that children are seeing, right? And thinking that it's okay to go in and out of like, oh, I'm transgender, no, I'm not. No, that's not how, unless you have had a life where you have to decide whether you live your truth and possibly get killed, or not live your truth and possibly kill yourself, you are not transgender. If you haven't had to make that decision.
Demi Lovato.
I wanted to ask you about that, Lily, about that whole, I don't want to take it off in that direction, but it's kind of like, yeah, I see what you mean, because I asked you one time if you thought there was like excesses in the LGBTQ community, and you're like, oh yeah, I've got them, and this is one of them you're talking about.
This is a perfect example. There's a lot of them I'm seeing pop up on TikTok, and I'm like, you're not even authentic. You're not even, and I'm like, damn, what would it be like to be a child right now? Like, you wouldn't even know. Like, even me, who I was as a child, if I was growing up now to see people like Dylan and things like that, I would automatically assume I'm supposed to have this surgery, that surgery, these hormones, that hormones in order to be who I am. But thank God I didn't have that. And so I was able to come into my own and realize and be able to own, like, oh, I am trans, but I don't need to change anything. Right. But they don't show the different facets of what it's like. You know what I'm saying? They just put these characters up there.
Do you have a problem? Do you have problems with people who may get procedures done to feel more comfortable in their own skin?
Oh no, I definitely don't have a problem with that. As long as they're over 18 and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no. Let me be clear. I don't have a problem with what anyone does to their body. You know, it's just that this whole. I have a neighbor, a young neighbor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who has changed. I'm told surgically changed themselves 3 times in 1 year.
Yeah.
Male, female to half.
Oh, I got you.
Like if you walk past her right now, she has a fucking goatee, titties, dick, and no balls.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just all the confusion and all the you know, and you know, it's a real. These are the people that see in every community. You're going to have the loudest, most ignorant people who are going to be propped up and pushed in the front. And so these are the people that they use to represent the LGBT community. And that's why people think that, oh, they're confused, or they're this and they're that, or they're going to put the most ignorant Black people to represent Black community. And, you know, it's always going to be the most ignorant, the most loudest ones.
Well, you know, and so, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
It's race time, kids. Woo! So are we saying, and Dave Chappelle touched on this as well, are we saying that even in the LGBTQ community, that white males rule no matter what's happening? Well, because I did briefly just surf this guy's channel. He has 10.8 million followers. Okay, 10.8 million followers on TikTok. What it looks like to me is, okay, he's a gay man, but what it looks like to me is kind of like an SNL character. Doesn't look like he's trans. It looks like he's doing an SNL character, like a character of a woman.
Yes, that's what it is. Yes.
Okay.
That's what, yeah. Yeah, very cosplay. But I will say, but going back to what you just said, the LGBT movement is for white males. It doesn't, like I said earlier, they're not thinking about me. They're not thinking about me. Now, do I have trickle down benefits from it? Yes, I'm not going to deny that, you know, but they're not thinking about my ass. That's not what it's about.
Well, so this is where I want to kind of go with this. I think what I feel like we're overlooking, because it was brought, I knew about it, but then at work, of course, people brought it to my attention, wanted to get my opinion on it. And I don't know if they knew the whole background like you did, Lele. I think, from what I understand, they think it was a transgender, right? This is the deal. I look at, like, they asked me what I said. Well, first of all, if you're going to boycott it, great. You couldn't have boycotted a more shitty beer. I mean, that place needs to go out of business anyway. It's a horrible beer. But my whole thing is, what does it matter? It doesn't really affect me. Like, it's not something that affects me. So I want to face the mirror on the people who are boycotting and why they are boycotting. Some people say, well, you're shoving stuff down my throat. What do you mean by shoving something? Nobody's making you go out with a transgender woman. And I'll be honest with you, there are some transgender women that you're not going to even know are transgender and are beautiful.
I don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, like, one of the, like, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, no saint. You ain't got a chance. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, Lily, you would agree, like, our age, we grew up in a time where now if you are transgender, you have many more advantages to make yourself, so you can't get clocked, basically.
Right.
If anybody doesn't know what clock means, that means when somebody reads you and can tell that you're like a transgender person, they that be looking at you like, oh, that's a man, or a man, right? So my thing is this: I want to turn the mirror. Like, if you're, I think it is the person who is getting offended and boycotting is really, they're uncomfortable with the fact that they're attracted to somebody.
Right.
Because I had to sit there, I thought about that. Like, God, man, there's this one transgender, pretty popular model. You might know who it is, Lily. You may or may not, since you're modeling. She's called Eden the Doll. Now, she was a model as a male at 15 or 16. When I tell you she was androgynous, when I tell you as a male, I was like, damn, she's pretty. He's pretty. And then she transitioned at 18, 19, or 20. Got a lot of surgeries, voice feminization, even though I don't think her voice was that bad as, normally. But when I tell you that if it wasn't for people being religiousized or society being scared of what society is going to think, she could get just about any guy she wanted, because she's like Lily said it one other time, the femininity is what you're attracted to. And if you're feminine for a male, like people say, oh, well, so-and-so is going to be gay if he goes out. No, because gay men aren't attracted. Gay men aren't attracted to this, transgender woman. Men are, because she, and I'm not just saying her, I'm just bringing her up as an example.
No, they're not attracted to transgender women. Period.
Right. I watched, I was watching Discovery ID the other day, and there was like this crime of passion that went on in New York City many moons ago, and it was a gay man who was with another gay man, but then one of the gay men went and he transitioned to a woman.
I seen that one.
You seen that one? And
that
then
was
he
a
was
good one.
She was happy. She's like, I'm a woman, and he was like, I don't want you no more. Right. Because I'm attracted to men, and you went and transitioned to a woman. So it's the same way, the other way around. A heterosexual man is going to be attracted to anything feminine, to a woman, to anything that looks like a woman. It's the same shit.
It happened to my neighbor. Well, because my neighbor met her husband when she was transitioned as a woman, but then when she went back to being a male, he said, oh, like, I want a woman. He's like, I've only dated women, trans or cis. It's only been women. I'm not gay. Like, I'm not attracted to men. And of course, he broke up with her. I mean,
now I will say this. Let's just put this out there. I don't think everyone who disagrees with the lifestyles because they're attracted and they're pissed that they're attracted.
I don't believe that.
So I don't want to say that. Some people are just indoctrinated. They're like, God said, and Jesus said, you're born a girl or a boy. And I completely understand that. These people are, this is my beliefs, this is my religion, is what it is. But yeah, do I think there's some guys out there that it's like they're afraid of their own sexuality, or they're afraid of being attracted, or they have been attracted and they don't want to know? Because I used to have this joke, right? I used to always ask my friends, like, are you gay? And they would be like, no, I'm not gay. And I would be like, well, you've thought about it. And they were like, I ain't fucking think about that. I was like, then how do you know you're not gay?
Right.
You had to. You had to think about it. So, like, technically, you thought about it, and it was like, "Fuck you, man." I'm like, I'm just saying, you're not, because you thought about it.
You have, and to No Saint's credit, though, I've had guys get mad at me because they were attracted to me. I'm like, I wasn't bothering you. I was sitting here in my business, But they'll get mad because they're attracted to a trans woman, and it's like, you're attracted to a beautiful person. Like, that's it. Like, don't get mad at yourself. Don't get mad at me. Just acknowledge beauty and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Lily, I was going to ask you, just for real quick, like, cosplay is like, I think of costume play, right? Like dressing up. Tell me, there's costume play, transvestite. I'm just kind of like, yeah, okay. I'm going to ask you, what does that mean in terms of what's really what?
Okay, Yes, a good question. But transvestite, go ahead and erase that out of your vocabulary.
Okay.
We don't use that. Like that's so 1980s prostitutes at the meat packing district.
Okay.
All right.
A
Cool.
Jerry Springer 90s.
Yeah, I saw your eyes like, whoa. I was like, okay. All right.
I'm like, I
Saint
ain't heard
Anne
that
the
in so
Domain.
long. But no, it's transgender or trans, whatever, you know. But okay, so the basics is just a lot of people get transgender and drag queens mixed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, what's RuPaul? Okay.
RuPaul is a drag queen.
Okay.
A drag queen lives their life as a male. They could be a straight male or a gay male. Some of the people outside of drag, they have beards and mustaches, and some of them have girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever, right? But it's just entertainment and cosplay, fun, you know. That's what drag is. Trans, living your life as a woman. You were born one sex, but you didn't feel identified with that sex. Nothing in you has ever identified with that, and you identify with the other sex.
Okay.
And
well,
so you choose to live your life.
I'll never use the T word again. That's gone. Okay. So I didn't know that. That kind of shows you how I only knew one dude who came out to me that he was gay. And this was when I was like 21 years old. I kind of suspected he was. And so we're driving home. You'll kind of like this. I'm driving home. We're coming back from the movies. And he's like, I'm talking to him about something. He says, look, I got to tell you something. I was like, what? He's like, I'm gay. And I was like, what? I said, you're not trying, and of course I did the typical thing. You're not like trying to come on to me, are you? Because I'm straight, I'm, and all that. It was all this insecurity. He's like, no. And he told, one of the fascinating things he told me was, he said that gay men, he said, if you thought women were picky about the dudes they go out with, he said, gay men are like off the chart. They are like they're like way up there in terms of like, you got to be just so. At least that's the way he told me. I don't know if that's true.
Let me thank you for saying please no saint and dropping the link, because everybody be like, drop the link. Like I owe them something. So thank you for saying please. Lily, so what would you say if Dylan Mulvaney says, hey, I'm doing drag. This is drag.
Fuck that bitch. I'm not going for it. Like, no, what you're doing, you know what you're doing. You're cosplaying as both a trans and a woman in general, and then you're gonna go back. You're doing that thing. I know what you're doing. You're not doing that. You're trying to get some checks, which I ain't mad at. Mm-hmm. Right? I ain't mad at. But don't play with our intelligence, right?
That's the first time I ever see Lily speechless.
But Lily, let's talk about, like I said, where we're at in a society right now. Because back in the 90s, I'm sure RuPaul was on a bag of Doritos or something, and nobody boycotted it. Now that's not a transgender. I get that. But some of these straight guys, as we see with George, don't know that I'm straight. I happen to know. I'm just like, but don't even know. I mean, didn't really understand the difference between like a drag queen and a transgender.
Right.
So they today they still don't understand that someone could be in drag and not want to be a woman or vice versa. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. It's like with. I don't understand Bud Light's. I didn't understand Bud Light's motivation on it, because I even said that to my friends. I'm like, well, on a business decision, kind of like what George was saying, I don't think the audience is there for Bud Light. I think it's a hit. It's going to be a bad news for them financially. But I also say, like, what we need to understand why there's such a rejection of this, and I think it's because people don't like how it makes them feel. It has nothing to do with, like, why would I care how if somebody is a woman and they were born a male and they transition, how does that affect my life? It doesn't. And if that's what makes them feel okay, or if that's who they are and they want to be a woman, then that's fine, but people have such a vitriol because I think because they find themselves attracted. I really think it's that. And they don't like the fact that this person who was born a male is now a female, and you're either attracted or you're not, right? And you can't take that back. If you, like, for instance, here you go, George, for you. There's Eden the doll.
Wow, I gotta admit,
it's pretty.
Yeah, right? You're either attracted or you're not. It doesn't matter that she was born a man.
Yeah.
Right? She's an attractive woman. What are you gonna do, though?
Okay. To answer your original question, where are we at as a society, as a country? We're living in the most divisive time all the way around. Every group is polarized, right? And so it's just divisive all the way around. So now that's on every topic: men against women, blacks against whites, gays against straight, da 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 da. And you can go on down. If there's the opposite, they are at war. Okay. Now on this particular topic, you're partially right, but I'm going to say this from my total life experience is that when people are going off like this, it does say more about the people who are going off than the person that they're going off on. Okay. Now that can include the attraction thing, but it could also include other things as well, such as religion, sheer ignorance. People are afraid of what they don't know. Their followers, so everyone in your group is saying trans bad. Okay, trans bad. So people are not smart. Okay. And to someone's comment that was in here, they hit my favorite. They hit my favorite one on this topic. They said, if you have children, it's bad. Okay, you know how I feel about you people who always want to drag the children in. Y'all don't give a fuck about the children. Y'all don't give a fuck about the children. Do not hit me with the whole, it's about the children. We just don't want you don't care about the children. Okay. You only use the children to try to prove your point against the group that you hate. So,
but don't you think, just being devil's advocate like I am, don't you think that both sides don't care about the children? Like when I walk in Target and I see LGBTQ onesie for an infant, I'm like,
yeah, both sides.
Like,
or the gay BC book. Did you see that?
I did not see it, but I feel that way across the board, not just the rainbow onesie, but even when I see a onesie like and it's a sports team, or even when you're feeding a child religion, like can the fucking kid grow up and decide what they want to do and worship? But to answer your question, no, Saint, what it's. You simplify when you say, why should I care what people do behind their back? And I'm the same way. I don't give a fuck if it's not infecting my vagina. I don't fucking care. But if you were in a stadium, right? And you were sitting with all your people and it's like, yeah. And then someone from the opposing team with a jersey came and sat right there. That shit is disrespectful. And some words would be exchanged. Okay. You're not going to welcome that person because that person is on the other team. So I think that's just, it's our nature to be opposing when we believe in something.
What used to be Oakland, the Raiders, and then Philadelphia, maybe not here. Like here, you can intermingle, fans intermingle in certain places, right? I realize there's certain places that have reputations, and that's true. But so what were you saying? As far as what was your point? Like you can't mingle.
My point is there's always people are always, when people believe in something, it doesn't matter if I'm a vegan, you eat meat, there's always going to be opposing people. So when we say, I can easily say, well, I don't give a fuck, that you don't eat meat. You know what I mean? And then someone else will make a big deal about it. How do you know somebody's a vegan? Because they're going to tell you they're a vegan. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So people always claim they don't give a fuck about what other people do, but they care very, very much. They care very, very much, long as they're opposing that. And it could be anything: sports, vegan, meat eater, religious, not religious. People fucking care. And it sounds good. It sounds good that people say, I don't care what people do behind the clip, but it's just not your subject.
Well, no. The reason I'll disagree with this a little bit is because I said I don't care if it doesn't affect me. And so certain things I am against usually it's because they're trying to encroach on me. Like when it comes to religions trying to change certain things, off of a belief, I don't believe that, but yet you're coming and telling me that, this is the way it's going to be because, ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding, 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 religion, but because this is what God told us, and they're trying to push me. So, but
okay, so you're saying only if it's imposing.
Person, how is that affecting me? It doesn't. There's plenty of room on this planet for everybody when it comes to what they feel, who they are, right? And who am I to tell somebody? Does anybody tell me as a white straight guy, I don't want to see you, I don't want to see you coming holding a girl's hand, or this is disgusting, you should be transgender. Nobody's forcing anything on me. And so, and it is really arrogant to think that, to question somebody's motive on why they are transgender, like to question, like, oh, something must be wrong with you. Oh, you just are confused. That's just arrogance, because you really don't know. You don't know. So if you don't know, you kind of just need to step back. So, but and that's the thing. We live in a society that when you're in the majority of the way people feel, you tend to try to oppress the minority and everything, right? And so because you don't understand, or because you think something is not right, you don't want anybody to have that space or to have any of the limelight. You want them to, why do they have to shove it in their face? Well, why do you have to feel like they're shoving it in your face? Move along.
When they always say that, why they gotta shove it down our throat? I say, yeah, you're right. Like they've been shoving all that heterosexual stuff down my throat, and I'm like, I don't think that works like that. Wrong point. Sorry.
Rojaxity says, Lily, I get that and respect that, but someone with kids, I disagree. You have to elaborate. Like, what do you mean, someone with kids you disagree?
Always yell cap about when they try to bring in the kids conveniently for the LGBT conversation.
Oh, okay, yeah. So let's talk about that. We don't have our religious bell, right? But
yes,
let's talk about religion anyway. When I think because so many people still view being gay as a bad thing, they don't want it anywhere near their children. That's all it is at the end of the day.
And they think it's a choice.
Yeah, it's like it's a bad thing. So we don't want it here. We don't want it wrapped around our drinking cups. We don't, because our kids are gonna wonder. But with that said, Lily, or anybody else on the panel, do you think? Because honestly, I think that being gay gets a lot of attention. It makes a lot of money, as we see with Dylan Mulvaney. It makes a lot of money. Okay,
it's the trend.
I don't think Little Nas X is gay.
I don't either.
But it's not my right. Like No Saint said, I can't be arrogant to say he's not. Right? I just think it's some more cosplay. I question him. And I know a lot of gay people, but for some reason that kid, right, always gives me a question mark. But, with that said, do you think, is it possible, because gay isn't a choice, right? You're either born that way or you're not. However, do you think that there could be influence if a child is growing up impressionable all day on social media and sees how fun it is and the colors and all the attention Little Nas X is getting and all the attention that girl is getting, that boy, and this one's calling themselves they and them, and this one's calling themselves an eggplant, and I just want to be different. If I'm gay, everybody will love me because look at all the support that this is doing. Let me try this out. Do you think that there can be influence as well, and it validates the worry that some parents have?
Yes, I feel like when I started seeing it being pushed as a trend, that's when I started to be concerned about a lot of things and a lot of people, because that's just not authentic. And then what I started seeing was that they were rewarding people for being LGBT.
Right. That's it right there.
And I was like, I never asked to be rewarded. Like, I just want to be left the fuck alone. Number one, I just want safety. Just don't touch me. You can talk about me all day. Don't touch me, right? Number one. And allow me to just have whatever rights that anyone else has. Meaning, if I decide to transition, I just want a job. I don't want to have to be a sex worker or a drug dealer. I don't. Like, I just want a job. I want to work at Burger King, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. But then when I started seeing the monetization of it and the push, I said, this is really inauthentic, which is going to breed more inauthentic beings that are trying to get attention and things like that. So that is where the community, but in the push, the inorganic push of it, the rewarding of it, made the kids like, oh, I want attention too. Okay, I guess I'm trans.
Yeah. Yes.
But they're not. You're not going to be gay and you're not going to be trans no matter how much you get paid to pretend that you are on the internet. So
I think that's why.
Back to my point for my friend that was, challenging me about the children. Sir, ma'am, your child is not going to be gay because they watch television or they have a gay friend. They may pretend like it for a few weeks, but it's going to get bored after a while. Right. And they're going to go about their life. Which,
and to your point, we see people like Demi Lovato, Nicki Minaj, Katy Perry, they're gay for pay. They will be gay for that one album, or they'll be gay for that one. Demi Lovato was like, call me they, them. And then a year later, no, I'm back to, you can call me she. It's a fucking game that they play because it's great for marketing and it pays and it's awarded and rewarded. Like Lily said, I think that's what's fucked up. But I also think that has nothing to do with the LGBTQ community. I don't think it has anything to do with it. Now, Bud Light, in my opinion, they wanted us to be talking about them. I don't think Bud Light gives a fuck about, you know what I mean? The LGBTQ. This is like, it's good marketing. You get dickheads like Kid Rock shooting at cans and now everybody's talking about Bud Light, right? And it's funny what you said, Lily, because I'm like, if you're not gay, you're not gay. Because I remember from a young age, my mother used to say mira in Spanish. She used to tell us, she was like, a man taking a dick is a serious thing. So if a man is taking dick, that man is gay, and leave him to it, because it's not an easy thing. It's not something it's not something you play with. It's not like, oh, let's see what happens. What a dick ride. My mother was like, that's a serious thing. That's not something that you just play when you wake up. Oh, let me try this today. She was like, a gay man is a gay man. So I was like, okay. And I was young. I was like, taking a dig in the ass. Right. And then I got older and I found out and I was like, yeah, not fun. So if you're committed to that,
if you committed, baby,
you're the real VIP. With that said, let me welcome Louis Kanya. No relation to what I just said, but how are you, Louis Kanya? What say you?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I think this Bud Light.
Did you shoot your Bud Light?
No, I don't drink Bud Light.
Okay.
I drink whiskey. It's one is a big money grab on Bud Light's behalf, saying we're inclusive, and they got free publicity. And the ones that's complaining about it, if you probably look on the search history on X videos, it's probably nothing but a bunch of transsexual porn. So I mean, and it always seems like the ones that complain about it the most are the ones that's interested in it. So. All they did was give Budweiser a bunch of free publicity. That's all it was. And create a bunch of hoopla. They got a bunch of media attention now.
Methinks doth protest too mucheth.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'll agree that, they always say any publicity, bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a money grab though? Because you think this is a money grab?
I don't know if they thought it would be a money grab and they just dropped the ball, because I'm telling you, these advertisement agency and companies these days are real dumb. Like, seriously dumb and tone deaf. And I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they thought it would be a money grab, but they are coming in on the tail end of the LGBTQ trend, right? And they are like, okay, I guess we need to jump on it before it stops, and it's
no. But look at it. Now they could say, Budweiser could say, hey, we're all inclusive. Now they're free of any backlash of saying we're not inclusive. We're not anti. We all inclusive. Hey, we got a model. So any scrutinizing won't be against them.
Well,
I disagree.
No, they do that as well because I've been booked by brands that have done that. I'm on set and I'm realizing like, oh, I'm here to check off a box. Check off your box as long as this damn check clears. You can check the box when I check my mail, right?
No, Lily, I understand what you're saying, but I just disagree that Bud Light. I get that, you know, they say any publicity is good publicity, but I really think because people, listen, I'm going to stereotypically say there's a certain group of people that drink Bud Light and they don't really have a lot of taste in beer because that is about the worst.
Are you beer shaming?
Yes, I am. But what I was going to say is that I think there are more people, and you're seeing bars not serving it. You're seeing, you know, this country music. I can't remember his name at this point, but he's not going to sell it at his concert. Maybe short, you know, and I just don't know the game. I don't know how this helps Bud Light at all because I don't think the transgender is. I get LGBT. There's a big community. I just don't think that the LGBT is going to go run into Bud Light.
So you think this guy doesn't know his beers?
No,
my beer. They're taking our jobs.
So I don't get financially how this makes sense.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird because I will say this. I agree with you, Lily. Like the people, we think that the marketing people are so smart and they know their demo and blah blah blah. But there's such a lack of diversity in these boardrooms that they really put out a lot of hot garbage. How many times have we seen a movie where someone's trying to portray somebody Black or Latin Asian, and we look at it like we don't fucking talk like that. What is that shit?
Or Southern. Or from
like Southern or anything. It's like, what is that? What is that? So people are clueless, so they're making the big bucks. So I agree. I don't think this was. I think this was. It was dumb, and they know their demo. Their demo is the guy I put on that can. That's their demo, and country singers and what have you. I guess.
Let's not forget that that Dylan also got a Tampax contract too.
He sure
Advertising
did.
Companies are dumb. I'm telling you, I deal with them a lot.
A fucking tampon. He needs to get beat with a. Let me not read. He needs to get beat with a box of tampons.
With a box of tampons, exactly. And
they fly everywhere.
And on top of that, these companies now are big on having diversity and inclusion department. And these big corporate companies, it's a big thing. And it's a big money maker, and they're usually putting trans, non-binary people into those positions, and then they start like, no, we gotta, blah, blah, blah. And I can see that happening as well, right? It's just so many things, but I'm not going to be surprised of any of them at this point. Like, it's just, what can we be surprised about?
And not to mention, if they do have, an inclusivity, right, diversity team, who's the one who got the most TikTok followers? Yeah. There's a guy. There's Dylan, whatever the hell. He has 10 million. Get him on the line, and we'll put him on the can, and we'll have him drinking Bud Light. I think that's how they looked at it, but they fucked up because they were just looking at the followers and not really looking into this motherfucker. He's an asshole who's cosplaying, and I agree with this. With Abby. New York City, he is insulting to women with his act. He's insulting the women and real trans women.
Yeah. For the Queen, the makeup sponsors, now I'm not going to come for that because me and Dylan both got an Ulta contract. So I'm not coming for it, but it was authentic with me. Everyone knows that that's my thing. Mm-hmm. So to give me a makeup contract for Ulta, it's not a stretch. You do
makeup.
But I've seen them do that with men. They will give men makeup contracts who don't even wear makeup, right? So I've seen a lot of this. So that's why I'm just like, I'm not surprised that it led here because I've been seeing it leading up to here. It's been a lot of tone deaf, just grabbing, like Jen said, popular people and putting them into spaces that they could put anyone else that actually qualifies, that's going to be able to deliver the message.
This is interesting. Yeah, go ahead, Louis.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Kid Rock that started all of this with the shooting of the can?
No, he jumped in it, but a lot of white conservative country folk were like,
But here's the thing, though. When was the last time Kid Rock was relevant? And this is probably a publicity stunt on his behalf too.
It was. It was. It was. It was.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody's, when people say when was the last time such and such was relevant, I think they forget that the job of a celebrity is to constantly do shit. I mean, Madonna, that every single celebrity, and I mean every single one, is constantly trying to do some viral shit. So it's like he's relevant. Kid Rock is relevant. He's very, very popular, in his demographic. The thing got a million spins. His people are all for it. So it's like, I'm careful with saying, well, that person's just trying to be relevant. That's their job. It is literally a celebrity's job to be relevant. So they're going to keep doing things like that. It's not like a nobody. We know who Kid Rock is. Like,
Kid Rock likes to smoke weed. I wonder if Dylan was up there hawking weed, if he would have shot up like a nickel bag or something like that, or I mean,
I'm not a fan of Kid Rock. I think he's a tool, but
he hasn't aged well at all.
No.
He aged like raisins.
But I'm just like, I think Bud Light dropped the ball on there. We haven't put the rainbow on anything yet. What do you think? Yeah, let's do
nobody
that.
Was asking, nobody was like clamoring.
Right.
Like, where are you, Bud Light?
Right. And come on, they know their demographic. So I did read in the article I read, they were basically saying that at the end of the day, the people that are boycotting Bud Light are proving that the consumer still rules. Right? That's where they're coming from. They're like, the consumer still rules. So you can't just slap anything on a can and think that we're going to go for it. And that's, now they're talking, it's not just the consumer, but bars are no longer selling. I mean, country singers don't want it sold at their concerts. Like, this is some serious
shit. And this
silly
goes,
shit.
Listen, and this silly goes back, shit. This goes, it's really gained steam, this whole boycott. Remember, I mean, the big one I remember, and I'm sure it even goes further back, was the Dixie Chicks boycott, right? And then the next big thing was the NFL I mean, there was more than that, but NFL boycott. I mean, it's kind of funny how many people boycott, like, oh, I don't watch Hollywood movies, or I'm like, man, you're gonna just boycott yourself out of just watching the grass grow eventually, and then if someone sprays the rainbow flag, and then you're gonna have to stop watching that too. I mean, it's just like, it's ridiculous. Like,
but that's what I say about cancel culture. Like, if this thing keeps going, and I notice a lot of celebrities are pushing back now, saying "fuck y'all," this is what I said, which is great. Which is great, because I'm like, yes, the more y'all do it, the easier it'll be for us. When they bring up, just said nigger back and not, yes, bitch, the fuck I did. Yeah, right? So it's whatever with that. But you're not going to have any celebrities left if you keep going back to every celebrity 15 years ago on Twitter. You're not going to have any celebrities left, because everybody back then was talking reckless as fuck. Just reckless. So you're not going to be able to cancel everybody, but I'm really happy to see a lot of celebrities pushing back. Like, I don't give a fuck. I said it. What are you going to do? Not like me anymore? Because no matter how many people boycott, right? There's still going to be that demographic that's like, I'm glad she said that shit. Fuck yeah. So, people are going to be split. Then they'll get over and they move on to the next star. But I think Bud Light's taking a huge hit with this because they offended their demographic. So I think they argued. So if this was a pub stunt, they dropped the ball because they literally offended their biggest demographic. So and there's too many beers out here.
Are you telling me to buy stock in Coors Light now?
They actually had a LGBTQ campaign too. That's what's funny. There was a video of a guy throwing out Bud Light and saying he was going to drink Coors Light, right? And then they started sending him images because Coors Light did a LGBTQ campaign too. So they was like, you idiot, you threw all that out, put the Coors in your refrigerator, and Coors already did a fucking LGBTQ campaign. So it's like, what are you going to drink? What do you disagree with, Harumi? Elaborate. When people say they disagree, I don't know what you're talking about, boo. You gotta elaborate. I said a lot of shit. Yeah, so it's like, you're going to cancel culture yourself and boycott yourself out of life in general. But again, none of this is to be taken seriously because next week it'll be something else. And the week after, it moves so fast. It moves so fast.
I was just telling somebody today they was upset about something that they were getting dragged for on social media. I said, girl, just sit down somewhere. Somebody's going to do something stupid tomorrow or the next day, and they're going to forget all about that. Just go.
This is interesting. Abby says, because there is something about it that crossed over to men. No boycott when it was strictly women's products. Interesting. So I think Abby's referring to when Dylan got the tampon campaign, right? Women weren't boycotting or causing or shooting tampons in the field. But apparently now he has a male dominated company, right? And now we got to shoot the beers.
Yeah. I mean, we know women are not protected though. Women are not as protected. So, and we've talked about that a lot. The one thing the men will do is come up and stand up for each other, and they will do that. And that's a great
thing. Their beer and stand up for their beer.
And their sports, like I don't have no problem with it. But I feel like, we would like to see that same protection for the women. The women need it, especially when there's I don't know.
Yeah, like I remember
now about the tampons. When that happened, I remember seeing a lot of stuff online about, saying, okay, modern women, you brought this shit on yourself, and laughing, so, but now, like, it's kind of interesting, whoever it was, they had that point there. But when it crossed over the line into their beer, okay. Yeah, we got the only thing I'm going to say, this is going to have absolutely no material effect on Anheuser-Busch, not Bud Light. Anheuser-Busch's bottom line. If you, in 3 months from now, when their financial statements come out, it's going to be, negligible, or if anything. They're not going to put one fucking footnote in there about we lost 20% of sales because of our terrible marketing campaign with Dylan Mulvaney, or whatever. They're not.
Oh, Romy said he disagrees with the ad is going to help Bud Light sales. I don't think the ad is going to hurt the Bud Light brand. I disagree. We can agree to disagree because their core customer, the majority, is these backwoods, angry, conservative white males who drink that garbage. But and not only that, the reason I also say that is because there are countless beers that someone can easily, because they feel ticked off, can easily grab another brand. Easily. There's so many beers. If I'm an asshole about that rainbow, fuck Bud Light, get me another, what I mean? There's so many beers that it's easy to just jump on some other brand. It's not like, boycotting, let's say, Con Edison in New York City. Who's gonna do your electricity if you boycott Con Edison in New York City, right? You can't. But beer. There are countless beers, so it's easy for me to be like, I die on it on a stupid beer hill. I don't want that. Don't get me that fucking gay beer. Give me a Heineken.
And then, just like everything else, you're going to have people who pretend to be mad just so they can be along with the crowd. That's going to be a part of it too. So that's why I don't take none of these people on the internet seriously. None of their gripes, none of their shit, because I don't believe I don't believe that they believe half of the stuff that they say they believe and that they're angry about or that they're happy about, or I like this. Oh, we're not doing that anymore. I don't like that. I like this. Like,
that's a good point. Acting angry and acting happy is a lot of cap on social media. Like, yeah, I love her. Do you really? If your son brought her home, would you still love her? I like her song, and when she's twerking and bending, that's my girl. And your son brings her home, and then what? Without the money, by the way, without her fame, your son brings the same person home. You still gonna like her and think she's cool? You're right. Tristan is here to close us out. Hi, Tristan.
Oh yeah.
And the manosphere makes its appearance.
Exactly. Hey.
Are you a tater tot?
Andrew Tate said it best. I'd rather date a Megan Fox with a dick. That's what he said.
He did say that.
Yeah.
He did say
He
that.
supports them. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's support Andrew Tate. He did say that. He's all about the LGBTQ.
Exactly.
We can't get mad. We can't get mad at him. Andrew Tate, tater tot, tater waiter. The taternator. Oh yeah, I don't have it.
Oh yeah, and that was the other thing too. When he did, when Dylan did the Instagram post for Bud, he was like, this is what he said. Oh, the March Madness asked me to do this promo, and I thought that everyone was just angry in March, but come to find out, it's a sports thing, and I'm like,
ignore the construction. I'm rebuilding my mansion. You'll see when it's done. We'll do an episode of Cribs. I had to get this area here. I bought my neighbor's house. I had to construct a specific area for the Bugatti. Anyway, that's all going to be lit up and shit. Bugatti logos. You broke boys don't know. Listen, I recently posted a question on Twitter asking, would you rather have sex with a transsexual, which is a legitimate 10, or a woman, which is a legitimate 1? And everyone's sitting there clicking woman, because they think they're going to be gay if they do anything else. But they're not actually thinking about the question. I am so smart. I operate on so many levels higher than the average man. You people are not thinking about the question. When I say a 1 and a 10, I mean Megan Fox with a dick. That's the tranny. Or Hulk Hogan with a pussy. That's the girl. This is the question I'm asking. Megan Fox or Hulk Hogan? So you're thinking, well, I don't want to be gay, so I just clicked the girl, the number 1, did it? You're going to fuck Hulk Hogan? Okay, there's a pussy, but he's got mustache and muscles and shit. He's all hairy, big dude, 6'5". It's pretty gay to me. That sounds pretty gay. I don't care if it's a pussy. That is gay. Whereas Megan Fox, okay, he's got a dick, but maybe you can, like, scoot it out the way. I'm still Megan Fox. You know what I'm saying? At least she's small and shit. You can get your hand around her neck, mess her up. You ain't messing up Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's gonna mess you up. So this is the question I'm asking. You need to operate on a higher plane. Think about this. This is important. This is cultural. This affects the world we now live in. What is straight?
Scoot the dick over, okay? And be a real man and get on in there. You can mess her up, okay? Okay, tater tots.
Yo, he was so serious.
You heard it from
such a higher plane. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you heard it from one of the most masculine men online right now. If he is not the epitome, the quintessential, okay, alpha, I don't know who it is. This is the top G saying, this is the top G. This is no regular guy. This is the top G.
Yeah. I think he might be gay himself, or he's bisexual. It would not surprise me if he came out and said he was bi.
I mean, he might be. I don't know for what he said just now, if that Mason. Listen, it doesn't have to be either or. I mean, there are bottom surgeries where they no longer have a dick. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he acts like it has to be,
Yeah, I know 2 trans girls that I actually knew, for one of them for 2 years, one of them for 1 year before I found out they were trans. And I was friends with them, because usually the girls who do get the bottom done, because the work is so good now,
right?
Not even gynecologists can tell by looking at it. Like, that's right. How, and so usually those ones, they call it stealth. They live like, they don't even tell other trans girls that they're trans.
I'm gonna tell you that there are guys who went to some houses over in Europe, prostitution houses, who didn't even know it, and they slept with a trans. Fully, like you said, you can't tell. You just can't tell.
I couldn't tell. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's, and even after I knew, I still couldn't tell. I'm like, I still don't see it. Like, and I'm talking about, I've seen both of them, no makeup, everything. Like, I'm talking fine. I'm talking fine. Like, what? Damn.
Okay, guys, is this a safe space?
It's always a safe space.
Okay, I confess.
Kind of.
I am a trans woman.
We knew this.
I hope. Please somebody get me a Bud Light can immediately.
You know that's going viral. You know your haters done screenshotted it, and it is gone.
Oh wait! Then let me say it again. I confess, I am a transgender woman. Everybody act surprised. Come on, so we can go viral.
Oh my God! God damn it, Jen! Everything I told you. Oh my God! I don't believe it.
You know what? This is funny. Mark Randall says, just imagine a masculine man trying to holler with a rainbow can. You know what? I would not be fucking thinking that. I'd look at the can and be like, oh, okay, the can, Bud Light is down with the LGBTQ. I would not, I promise you, I would not be thinking that. That would be the last thing on my mind. Like, that's the fucking can the beer's in.
Are you gonna look at it and say, oh, he picked up that can
because he's gay?
No, you wanted a beer.
If we applied this whole to everything, you wouldn't have reading rainbow. I think these people take it to the extreme. When they see a rainbow in the sky, they get pissed off. Now they're like, God damn it!
It was so funny because when I did the Target campaign, my aunt, she was like, oh, I want that. It was a jumper that I had on. And so I was like, but auntie, I said, everyone's going to think you want to eat cooch because there's a rainbow on the front of it. She was like, but I like rainbows. I said, okay.
It's funny. Remember that time on Facebook, Lily, when I said, I love rainbows and now I can't even use them anymore because now chicks think that I'm gay if I use a rainbow. And then you said,
who I got the joke from. That's who I got it from. And I said it to my aunt because I was like, Grandma, I said, auntie, they're going to think you want to eat coach.
Yes. And then you said, well, I need to use a rainbow or else they'll think I'm straight. That shit was so funny. Right. I'm like, we like rainbows are beautiful.
She was just like, I like rainbows.
Jeez. Like, can I just like a damn rainbow? Let me leave my rainbows. There, it's up in the sky. It's raining. It's like a rainbow. Yeah.
Exactly.
Damn it. First Teletubbies. Now my Bud Light.
And the Mexican taking my jobs. You just gotta add that one on.
Damn Mexicans taking my jobs and now the gays. The gays.
Oh yeah, the gays.
The gays are taking my Bud Light.
I have never seen a group that's so small that puts so much fear in people that bother nobody. I said it's a beer. It's a beer.
It's a beer. But that goes to show, like, I'm not even going to say how hellbent people are in their beliefs, because people have always had their beliefs. I think it's more people wanting attention and FOMO. Yeah. Honestly, not so much. Oh, the gay. It's like, oh, we got a voice and we can go online and do videos. And I'm Kid Rock and I go shoot at cans and I want to be down with that. I want to throw something in the chat and I want to post something about it. I think that's also a factor. They just want to be part of something that's being done or said because it ain't shit to do on here. And a lot of people come here as like to supplement the monotony of shit. So it's like, yeah, let me partake in something that I'm angry today. Like, you can literally go online and be like, what are y'all angry about today? What are you
I think I might post that tomorrow.
You know what's funny? I want Jen and Lily to post just happy pictures and somebody will say some hateful shit randomly.
Actually, that is no. That is my social media, and people do that. Like I only post positive stuff, and you'll get people like, you're always smiling. You're always happy. What the fuck do you want from me? What do you want me to
they don't want. Cry? Listen, my daughter one time posted this thing, and I was on the floor. She was like, "They don't want you to laugh. They don't want you to cry. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to be single. They don't want you to be married. They don't want you to be gay. They don't want you to be straight. They don't want you to have short hair. They don't want you to have long hair. They don't want you to be fat. They don't want you to be skinny. They don't want you." It was so funny because it's like, they don't want you to do anything. Like, don't even exist, right? Oh, you better not age. Are you getting older? Like, is that what humans do? Like, you better not be getting older. You better die real quick. You're not supposed to be getting old. You have children. You don't have children. Like, it's a mess. It's a mess. And it's a black hole. And if you don't watch yourself, you will get sucked in there before you know it.
Yep.
Don is ridiculous.
No,
he says
had
that
me
already.
Laughing. That one was funny. He's like,
God's gay. I knew it.
I knew that guy.
Thank you so much, the Queen. It was nice to have you here. Thank you so much, chat, for holding me down. Guys, if there aren't any last words, we could be the fuck up out of here. I'm gonna get me a Bud Light with a rainbow on it.
Right? Did it have a non-alcoholic one? I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Any parting words? If not, then Tristan can dismiss.
Well, I'm just going to get a non-alcoholic, but if they have it.
There you go. That's what I'm talking. I don't like Bud Light. Actually, I'm waiting for Corona to put the rainbow on there. I like Corona. Ice cold Corona.
I think I'm going to go get some Starburst.
That's so good.
Not the yellow ones. I don't like the yellow. I'm boycotting the yellow Starburst. Fuck. Let me. I haven't boycotted, and it's my turn to boycott.
Well, actually,
I want to boycott.
Jen, once we get to the level that we want, it'll be on our rider. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I need to boycott some. Don't give me the yellow Starburst, please.
No yellow Starburst in her dressing room, please.
At all.
We're not performing. We're not coming on.
Yeah,
why is she so annoyed by that? Like you saw the utter disgust. Like that was genuine over some yellow Starburst.
Yeah, don't bring me the fucking yellow Starburst.
You know what, Lily? She's banned. Let's ban her from her channel.
Well, no, I have my craziness too that's going on my rider. So.
And bring me Oreo cookies without the fucking white shit in it. Do not bring me Oreo cookies with the white shit in it. I don't eat the white stuff.
I don't like it either.
I scrape it off like that, or I take.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I do.
Really? No, say you too.
I don't like it. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I only like a little bit of it. So when they came out with the thins, I was happy because my whole life I would scrape it off and just leave a little smidget of it for flavor. And then they came out with the thins, and I was
listen. They came out with the double stuff. I almost threw up in the supermarket.
This is Mariah Carey level diva. All three of y'all.
Listen, no, like I twist it open. You got to twist it so the cookie doesn't break. You twist it and you scrape that fucking white shit off. Okay, I do not eat the white stuff.
Just like the squigglies in the eggs, right?
Yes. No squigglies, please. That's why I don't like eating eggs at restaurants because they don't take out the squigglies.
And you know it's cooked in there, Jen. How can you find squigglies in the eggs?
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, George? It does not cook. It doesn't cook. It doesn't cook. Trust me, I know squiggly. It does not cook. At a hard-boiled egg, if you slice it a certain way, that little telephone cord is still fucking in there. And when you cook scrambled eggs, you can it's still in there. Yeah, no, I'm
you know, when it's your thing, you're gonna notice it.
Right. When is it? Yeah, it's like you can freaking twist the egg a certain oven.
That is the most amazing thing. Like that observation is some type of paranoia on another level.
And you should see how I clean chicken. Oh my God, you'd hate me. The way I clean chicken, it takes me about an hour for like 6 pieces. But I have to gut the chicken thighs. Like I have to clean out all the fat and all the veins and the tendons, and I'm pulling the tendons and veins out. And the way I clean chickens, I love eating chicken, but making it's a bitch because I know it's gonna take.
This is how I know Jen and Lily are millionaires. You know how millionaires have that one OCD thing? Lily catches flights, right? Like she has this thing about flights where she's just gonna hop on it no matter what time of day. And Jen obsessively cleans chicken that's ridiculously clean. Like
good night, No Saint. He can't hear again. Good night.
Good night.
We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, no, I'm my rider they would be freaking pissed off with my rider because I'm like, I need water in all my juices. I need, you know what I mean? So I'm a mess. I need to be rich. I need to be rich. I need to be rich.
And you should see when I do laundry. Like that's why That's why I can never have anyone do my laundry, because the way I do laundry, it's a whole production.
Lily,
It is
that's
a
another thing.
production. And if I can tell if any one thing of that production is off, like it's
Yes.
like all the levels and everything, and has to be timed and prayed over, and like it's just like a whole a moon, like a rain.
Everything does not go in the washing machine, and everything doesn't go in the fucking dryer.
No.
But some things have to be hung up to dry. It's like, just stay away from everything. Nobody touch nothing. How about
touch, that? Yeah, and
don't touch anything.
Don't clean my house. Just clean it behind yourself. That's what I tell people all the time. Don't clean my house. Just clean it behind yourself. I got the rest.
It's like
you're not gonna do it right.
Yeah, no, I eat a lot of weird stuff. I'm gonna start posting it.
And then what's funny is, my mom's coming this weekend, so I'm like, and she's the top G of the cleanliness. So I'm like, and she's taught me how to clean. I'm like, it's not gonna be clean enough for her, no matter what I do. But I'm still like in this anxiety. And she's not gonna say nothing.
Really? Is mom gonna watch the Block Talent Battle?
She may. My brother will be here too, so she may watch it. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so on that note, let me remind everyone really, really quickly, even if this is not you and this is a friend, I'm already getting a lot of responses. So yay. April 15th, Block Talent Battle right here on The Block with Jen. Send me a picture and what your talent is at ontheblock@gmail.com. There will be a cash prize. You can come up and perform for us for 2 minutes. We will give you 2 minutes. Piano, singer, dancer, actor. You have to have a monologue, comedian. I'm getting a lot of comedians to respond to the ad. So April 15th, 8 p.m. sharp. You'll wait in the queue. We will pull you up. You can perform for us 2 minutes. There will be a cash prize. Okay, we'll critique, but people watching will vote. All right, so come on up April 15th. Mark your calendar. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Chicken gizzards? No.
Blocked.
Right, blocked. Maroon Planet. Then I got to clean my... I'm like, yeah. All right, guys. So Tristan, take us out.
Okay, multiple choice again.
Uh-oh.
Racism, OnlyFans, or this trans post.
OnlyFans.
Yeah,
what's your vote, Lily?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're gonna go to the one we didn't do yesterday.
Okay, OnlyFans. Hopefully, No Saint is still watching. Hold on, let me put you on the big screen, Tristan. Okay. Oh, it's doing that thing again where it's not letting me. Edit name. Edit. Why? Hold on. What the hell? Oh, here we go. Duh.
Okay. Now, everyone, this is Jen's OnlyFans that you have to pay $49.99 a month, and here it is.
Welcome to Freaky Friday Fun Fast. As I promised yesterday, today I'm going to show you how I can hold my breath underwater for a freakishly long time. First things first, I have to take off my top because I can't have anything constricting my chest. When I come back up, I'll explain to you how I do the rest.
Gotcha. We shall need you to go to GoFundMe.com/The Hit Show for PR. As the people of Puerto Rico are still suffering and we need your help. If you can't make our event on October the 29th here in Las Vegas, Nevada, what we need for you to do is...
Listen, first of all, no, don't Tristan, don't dismiss the class. I have to explain, okay?
That was funny. No explanation needed. That shit was funny.
Okay, all right, cool. Then I'll leave it there. That I was raising funds for hurricane relief in Puerto Rico.
They still need it.
And I knew that's old, Tristan. You went into the archives. That was the first Hurricane Maria. And that was and I was like, people will watch and listen to me if they think I'm gonna take off my top. So I was like, yeah, so that's why I did that.
That's a good one. Very good one.
When No Saint was like, wait, what?
That was really
I thought Tristan was gonna cut it right after Carlos came up, but he didn't. So I'm like, I don't want people to think that there's a GoFundMe set up and all of that. That's old. That's old. That was Hurricane Maria.
Whatever happened to that?
All hurricanes now
I
go
gotta
to
go,
Ben's
y'all.
Cash
Got a
App.
lot to do. Gotta get ready for mom to tell me how dirty my clean house is.
All right. All right. I love you all. Class dismissed.
All right.
All right, guys. Good night. See you tomorrow. All right. If you're still here for any reason, hit that like and subscribe on your way out the door. Please don't forget April 15th, Block Talent Battle. Bring your talents. And if it's not you and you have a talented friend that could use $100 for 2 minutes of their talent, send them our way April 15th, 8 p.m. Send On the Block with Jen a picture and what your talent is going to be. Let me know if you're going to sing, act, dance, or whatever it is you do, play piano, play the guitar, whatever it is that you do. April 15th, 8 p.m. sharp. On the Block with Jen at Gmail. Send me your picture and what you do. I'm getting a lot of pictures and people are not telling me what they do. So I'm not just collecting pictures, guys. Let me know what your talent is. Okay? Need to know. Thank you. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you for holding me down in the chat. Thank you for the super chats. And we will see you mañana. Don't forget to support On the Block with Jen Cash App. See you guys tomorrow.